everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is the Night Owl Stitcher. My name is Mackenzie, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. In today's video, I'm going to go over my monthly update for August, and I'm also going to announce the giveaway winners. Yay! I'm excited for that, so stay tuned. I will be announcing those at the end of this video. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna update you on what's been going on, and I had intended to post a Stitch With Me, so I'm gonna get into why that has not gone up yet. I will be showing you a finish that I have, 3 projects that I worked on, and then my plans with Go, stuff like that for next month. I have 1 item in haul, and then we'll be announcing the giveaway winners. Okay, so this last month has been crazy in so many ways, mainly tech issues in like every aspect of my life. It has been so stressful. So after the last video was posted, I have had some career things go on, in which case I've had to do some tech stuff and transporting data and whatnot. And oh my goodness, the amount of items that I had to transfer and save and download and all the stuff took not only forever, like probably 4 or 5 days, and didn't even end up working. I had to contact this IT guy, completely filled up the storage on my computer. Therefore, I was not even able to open any documents on my computer, couldn't download anything, couldn't put my video up, like just anything that I wanted to do could not get done until that was kind of resolved. I'm actually still in the process of trying to figure that out. Yeah, it's just been a bit of a mess. And then after that, I had an issue with my video, and by the time I was able to, so I recorded the Stitch With Me not too long after my last video, and like I said, had intentions of getting that set up, but then with everything going on with the storage and whatnot, I think I was on the phone with Apple like 4 or 5 times, and then my iMovie stopped working. I thought I lost all my videos and all my editing and couldn't upload a new video, so didn't want to fiddle with that in case I erased old videos that were somehow could be retrieved. Like, it's just been one thing after another. And then this morning I am getting ready to record this video, because by the time that I had finally figured out my iMovie and my storage and everything on my phone, I realized that today is the 2nd of September and I cannot not record an update. So I was like, I might as well at this point just record the update, get that up, and then the Stitch With Me I will save, because I did record the Stitch With Me on my new project, which I will get into and show on my whip. So you will see the progress before you actually see the Stitch With Me. Unfortunately, that's not how I intended it, but sometimes things just happen. So that's what's been going on with me. But anyway, what I was gonna say is this morning I had my tablet plugged in that I have my pattern keeper on, and I am hoping I did nothing to it, but I keep it plugged in on the floor. So I had it like a few inches off the floor, and when I unplugged it, it kind of slipped from my hand, fell onto my foot on my toe. So I kind of patted it a little bit. But I'm praying that I did not lose things, because now it will not turn on. And I don't, and this is bad, but I don't export my progress because of my lack of storage. So, and I figure I can pretty well find my spot, but I do parking. But I figure, as I go, if I ever needed to, I can kind of figure out which colors are what, but it takes time. It's a bit of a pain. But I'm just hoping I've looked it up, and sometimes if I have an Amazon Fire tablet, sometimes if they die, they can take up to 30 minutes to charge. So I'm hoping maybe overnight it wasn't plugged in properly, because that seems to happen with the cord that I have. The USB falls out of it. I'm praying that that's all that happened. So I have it plugged in behind me, and I'm gonna hope that by the end of me recording this video, it will turn on. So please cross your fingers for me. But anyway, Okay, so that's basically my little craziness intro. So sorry for not posting the Stitch With Me. As I said, life has been crazy, and I know I kind of had to apologize last time for a late video post. Just feels like my life is a little bit crazy recently. Also, you'll notice my background is different. I moved my furniture around in my room, so yeah. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to say at the beginning. So for now, I'll just get into my update. So I do have a finish. I had wanted to wash and iron this piece, but unfortunately, with everything going on, it just didn't happen. But I figured, I'd still show you. You can still see the progress. But please keep in mind, it's not washed or ironed. But this is my squirrel. So this is my Maloka Designs Sal for 2023. So this is just stitched on a piece of white Aida from Michaels. It's 16 count. I stitched it 2/1 full cross, and I used all called for DMC. I think he is so cute, and I'm so happy I finished it because I was going to UFO this out. I think it wasn't in my last video. It could have been 2 months ago now, or my two updates ago. But ultimately, I'm so happy that he's done and he's so cute. And I had wanted to have this finished by my last update, and just life got in the way. I don't know why these last couple months seem to have been so like busy or wild for me, but that's the way things go. So anyway, so happy with him. I don't know how I'm gonna finish him yet. If I want to, I've almost been thinking of doing like a book sleeve, because he's about the right size for a book sleeve if I put some fabric on the back and like padded it. But I am not a sewer. I've tried to sew, and I get very stressed sewing because it doesn't come naturally to me. I don't know why, because every other crafty thing seems to, I say every other, like textile craft, like fabric type craft does, except sewing. I do have a sewing machine, so I need to fiddle around with it. I don't really know how it works sewing on Aida, and I would need to put some like backing on the back, like some padding. What's that called? I don't know if you'd use interfacing or actual, like, I don't even know what it's called, but anyway, I would have to look into how to do that. Because I'd also want it to be lined so that this doesn't get super dirty. But that's the other thing, because it's white, it might get dirty. So I don't know if that's what I should be using this for, or if I should just frame it. So I will think about that, but he's done. So he's gonna go in my little finishes drawer with my owls, my owl trio that I finished recently too. I'm going to wash and iron him, and then figure out some finishing plans, but I don't know when those will happen or how. So anyway, one thing off the list, which is nice, and yeah, it just feels good to get things checked off. And as we're nearing the end of the year, I can't believe it's already September. Like, it's crazy that there's only a few months left of the year. Well, 4, but still. I feel like time is flying, and I have so many goals, and I mean, I'm on track for most of them, so I do feel pretty good about that, but I'm hoping I can keep up with it. And I do know, obviously, life throws things our way that we're not expecting, so we'll see how well I can keep up the momentum. But anyway, so that was the finish I wanted to show you guys. Now now my whips. I worked on my Hade Sal. This is Steampunk Portal. This is where we are at now. So pretty. I love this project. It's so much confetti. Like, you wouldn't believe how much, like, there's like green in here. Why there is green in here, I don't know. But it just gives this beautiful dimension to it. But yeah, there's colors in here you would not expect. There's red too. I mean, you might be able to see like some of the right here, some of the reds and stuff, but I love it, and it's coming by really quickly. So this project, I actually have a couple questions, or like I want to get your guys' opinion. However, I'm going to tell you stats on this one first. So for this project, I am at 21.24%. So the artist is L&L Designs, charted by Hade. It's stitched on 25 count, I believe. Yes, 25 count Lugana 2/1 full cross. The fabric is from my L&S and using all called for DMC. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do it this way, what it looked like last time compared to now. So pretty. This is coming along. I would have liked to get more stitching done on the whips that I'm going to show you, just because my last video got posted up later than I had intended. My update for August is like, I think it was about a week in, so it's a week less of progress. That 1 week, the first week, I think it was the 1st to the 8th or something, was added into the progress from July. Yeah, July. And so July and the first week of August was my July update. And then my August update will be that, like, less that first week of August, if that makes sense. So it's just the last 3 weeks of August. Anyway, so I would have gotten an extra week of progress had I not recorded and uploaded that video a little later than intended, but there we go. I also realized I didn't show you, like, where I was last time with this squirrel, so I'll show you that as well. So cute. Okay, so questions for you guys. So for the Hade style, those of you who are participating or those of you who aren't but know a little bit about it, if you finish 6 full pages of your project that you picked, of your pattern, you are rewarded the 11 other charts that were offered to you in the stitch along for you to choose from. So that's my goal, is just to finish the 6 pages. Initially I wanted to finish the whole chart. Not gonna happen, but 6 pages I might be able to do. We're on the 3rd page now. This will be the 3rd page done, and then I will have 3 more on the bottom. Now, as you can see, right on this side, right here, I started to try to feather this stitching here. Now this, as you can see, is not a full block of 10. This is where the full block of 10 would have ended. I think this is only like 4 stitches. See, this is the line there. This is only like 4 stitches over or something. And then the end of the page on the chart started right here. So I don't want to do too much stitching more than that page, because if I do, then I'm going to be slowing myself down and I might not hit my goal. But I feel like I wasn't sure, because I'm doing diagonal stitching, I wasn't sure how to properly, like, I didn't want to get those grid lines that I get in my parrot project that you guys have seen before. I'll try to put up a picture here. Actually, you know what? Let me just grab it. Hold on. So this is my parrot project, and as you can see, I've got some lines in the back that you can tell come down. So I had wanted to avoid those lines, obviously, in ending my page, and that's why I work on the diagonals, because it prevents you from working in straight vertical lines like I do on or even horizontal lines like I do on the parrot. But again, like I said, I didn't want to do tons of extra stitching, because if I were to do a ton of extra stitching on this side, that would be so many extra stitches that would just slow me down and take away from the next page. So I did start feathering. I don't know if I like this method for me, because it kind of trips me up when I'm stitching and I have to look into the box over, like, after the page ends without doing the full 10 diagonal. I'm like, okay, I have to, so the first line here is 4 stitches, and then when it would have been 10, and it's always 10 going down in this diagonal, right? But then here you do 4 stitches all the way across, but you're still trying to work without getting those grid lines. So I didn't want to move directly down, which is why I feathered out 1 stitch and then came back, so that you're not ever working straight down in a vertical line. And then when I got here, I was like, okay, well, I've kind of hit a new box. You could see right there, a new box of 10. So then I started working the full 10 again in the diagonal. So it just kind of tripped my brain up a little bit. I wish I had my tablet because I wanted to show you guys what I meant by, I was thinking of doing a new method in terms of like when I hit a page, and maybe I'll try to draw it here quickly for you. We'll see if this makes sense. I don't know or how I can explain it. Okay, so if this is how I stitch, and I stitch in diagonals, right? When I get to here and I want to stop at this line, see how it's smaller here, and then you don't want to continue working straight down, but at this point it becomes a full line of 10 again. So then I could continue my diagonal all the way down. But for this block, I was kind of thinking, what if I go into the next block of 10 just for the top 10 here, right? And then when I start the next diagonal, rather than starting all the way at the top in the next diagonal over here, I would start in this diagonal here. So then it would start looking, I don't know if any of this is going to make sense to you guys, but let me know what you do if you're a diagonal stitcher and then there's like a page and you don't want to go across the page, but you don't want to get those vertical grid lines. So I was thinking of doing this. We'll see if this makes sense to you guys. Thanks for waiting while I draw. Okay, see, that's what I was thinking of doing, so that if this is my page line right here where it ends and I want to stop stitching, all I would do is just every 10. So I'm just doing like a few stitches extra, or sorry, I guess my page line would be in the middle of a box, right? That's what I was saying. Okay, guys, bear with me, but see how my page line is in the middle of a box? So really the only extra stitching you're doing is like this like little corner here, but then my brain would be able to comprehend the full 10 diagonal, and you're only doing like this little bit of extra stitching, and I would do it in like ladder steps down so that you're still ending on this page line and not doing like tons of extra stitching, because otherwise I would be starting like each new diagonal at the top, right? Anyway, I hope that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, if that's not what you guys do, or if you guys have a better way of doing it, because I'm still doing extra stitching that way, and it's going to be, the other thing I noticed is that I would have to come back. See how these parts are not stitched right here, that would not be stitched. This is the best picture, just my drawing, but see how right here, that's not stitched, that wouldn't be stitched, that like little circle. I do the circle in the wrong spot. There you go. See how that part's not stitched there? I would have to come back and fill those in. But then I'm like, I would otherwise be filling it in with this diagonal. Anyway, I hope that makes sense to you. I don't really know how to explain it in a better way without showing you guys, and it's very hard to do. But the feathering tripped my brain up. But if that's the best way to do it, I will continue that way. But if the staircase on the diagonal works better that I was just showing, then maybe that makes some sense. And then I'll go in and fill those little triangles in, but I will be doing extra stitches too. I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm still doing extra stitches with the feathering because the one stitch every other line still goes out of that page, but I think it's a little bit better than a whole block of like a chunk of 10 stitches every triangle or every diagonal. Anyway, hopefully I'm making some sense, rambling, but yeah, please, if you have any suggestions, let me know. That's my Hade steampunk portal. We will move on from that. Okay, now my freebie steampunk owl. So this was my, you know what, I'll save that because I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But my Story Keep Tiki Beach Sunset. This is one that so I moved the frame, so you'll notice it's been moved, but this is my second whip for the month. So this one was, or is at 13.88%. The artist is Amy Stewart, charted by Hade, stitched on white Lugana 25 count, 2/1 full cross, and again, fabric from my LNS, and using all called for DMC. And I will show you what it looked like before, when you last saw it. Yeah, I absolutely love this project. I'm finally starting to see the little lizard guy come through. That's like his back leg and then his tail here. So cute. I love the way the wood looks like up here is so pretty. It's just so like it looks textured. Like it's just so well done. Anyway, so that's that project. Not much to say there. I would like to get 10,000 stitches on that. That was my goal for the end of this year, is to get 10,000 stitches on that. If I can, I'm going to try to pick this up. I think it's going to be called, how many more times? No. I don't know how many more times it's on my Whip Go board, but I'd like to work on this a little bit more so that I can get 10,000 by the end of the year, and that'll be another goal checked off the list. Okay, next is my steampunk owl, freebie steampunk owl. I love this chart. This was the one I just started that I recorded a stitch with me with that I didn't yet get up. So if you're interested in seeing my new start on this, that will be the next video that is posted. So keep an eye out for that. I will get it posted now all my storage stuff is figured out. But this is where I am, so minimal start. There's only 2 colors in there. Pretty simple, but it was fun to do. I have not done a full coverage project on Ada before, and I wanted to grid it myself, which seems to be working quite well, so I'm happy with that. The coverage is different than what I'm used to because I'm still stitching 2/1, but because it's 18 count, it's a little less than what I'm used to, so you can see like white in behind. I don't know if I don't like it or like it. I'm not too sure. The camera's not really picking up, but there's that little better. Some lighter blues in there. It's a lot more visible in person, but I am really loving this project. The only thing I have to say is when I was doing my stitch with me, and you might notice this in the video once it's posted, I was struggling so much with threading these needles because I use what size are these? This is 18, 28 count needles. And oh my gosh, the eye is so small, and with my nails being as long as they are right now, they just were not, I couldn't thread them. So, and I'm usually pretty fast with my Hade portal, like I can thread, but I use a larger needle on that, so I can thread a lot more quickly. And so I've kept like 3 needles. Oh, are there 3 colors in here? Oh, looks like there's actually 3 colors. I think I introduced the lighter blue in there. I had 939, 823, and then I guess the lighter blue. So there's 3 colors in there. But anyway, I kept my needles threaded because I was like, there's no way. So when I get into all the colors, I don't really know what I'm going to do. And I have tried my needle threader, the little pink one, I'll get it, that I purchased a while ago because someone commented on one of my previous videos that like it works like a charm for them, and you just kind of have to like pull down on the thread as you pull this through the eye of the needle. See how tiny it is? that focusing? There you go. I could not get this to work for me. But then my larger DMC threader was just way too big for the eye of this needle. So I don't know if I need to buy different needles, like still size 28, but some that have bigger eyes. Like, again, let me know what you guys do or what size needles you guys use for 18 count Aida. I also think when I washed this Aida, and I know this tends to happen, the fabric count kind of like got distorted a little bit because I've measured it since and it almost counts as like a 17 count, but I know it's 18. I don't know if that matters at all, like if that would change like the needle size I should be using. Probably not, but anyway, I felt like I needed to say that, I guess. But anyway, so there is no before picture for this just because this was the new start, but I'm looking forward to getting more of that done. So I would like to continue that, and because it's simple and just a few colors, Stitch With Me's might be good on this one. So I will try to do more of those now that I have the setup for it and the storage on my computer. But yeah, liking that one. So stats on that, actually, I forgot to say. Stats on this one, so I'm at 0.27%. The artist is Malcolm Watson. It's charted by Hayde. Fabric is, as I said, 18 count Aida. I think it's an antique white. I just got it from like a Value Village. I thrifted it. So I'm not 100% sure on the color, but it's stitched 2/1 full cross using all called for DMC. And also, if I forget to say anything about any of my projects, I always have in the description a link to my Google Sheets, which shows all of my projects that I'm currently working on, my finishes, and all the stats for those, except the percentages. But it does give you all the information about how I'm stitching it, what I'm stitching it on, what's used, stuff like that. So check that out if I forget to say anything, or if you're interested and just want to know. But yeah, or if you want to see my other projects, take a look. Okay, so next I will talk about my plans. So I will be working on my Hayde Sal. As always, I try to get about 200 plus stitches, so about 220 I think is where it's kind of averaging at right now, depending on how much I get done. I have a sheet on my Notion that I've created that counts down the days of the year and my goal, and it tells me how many stitches per day that I need to reach that goal. So if I don't stitch one day, it'll update accordingly. If I stitch more in one day on that project, it'll update accordingly based on how many days are left in the year. So as of right now, it's about 220 stitches a day. So I'm trying to do that. I don't always get that, but then some days I get more. So that's going to be worked on in September. And then my Whip Go board called the Twisted Band Sampler, which I will put up a picture here. So I'm going to be working 3 sessions on this over the duration of 3 different days. And then my mag weigh-in, which I will also put up here. Again, 3 sessions over 3 different days on this one. And then I have considered maybe pulling out my Peppermint Purple Sal from, I think it was from 2022. Yeah, from 2022. I have considered pulling that out and trying to get back into that. It's a black work piece. If you haven't seen it, you can check out my mid-year whip parade, because I don't have a picture of what it's going to look like because it was a Sal. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say for plans, other than my goal for the end of the year for my Twisted Band Sampler is to complete band 6 on that project. I am in the middle of band 5. Each band has 2 colors, a lighter color, and then it transitions into usually a darker color or another color entirely. Because it was called this month, I would like to finish that whole second color of the band that I've started with the second color, so that would be band 5 done. And then the next 2 times that my twisted band sampler is called, because I do have it 2 more times on my WhipGo chart. I can finish band 6 with the first color the first time, and then the second color the second time. I think that's what I would like to do. And then my Magwain, my end of year goal for Magwain is to complete all the stitches on the lady itself. No beading, no back stitch, just the cross stitches. But excuse me, it's seeming like that might be a tough goal, especially with this being the last time it's going to be called on my WhipGo is September. I've worked on it every other time. It's already been called every other time. So if I can pick it up as and when, I will. However, my priority for the end of this year, my priority is my parrot project that I showed earlier, because I've just had that for so long. So if I have extra stitching time that I don't want to work on like a full coverage, like my Hade, or like my Hade Sal, the Steampunk Portal, I should call it, or any other project, I would like to pick up the parrot. So the Magwain just isn't like top of the list, but I do enjoy working on her, so we'll see how I feel. Okay, what else? Okay, so I guess it's just haul left. I know this has been a little bit faster of a video than I usually do, especially with all my rambling, although I did have some rambling in this video. I went to Value Village and found this. It was only $1.49, but then I went with my mom, so she got an additional discount. So it was less than $1. And I think like this pattern, I don't know what it is about it, like not usually my style, but I love her. The black and the white, like my room, black and white, and just like the pop of color, I think is so pretty. And she's just so elegant. I don't know what it is. I love it. But in this, there's other projects in here that I'm interested in. My parents watch my videos, so I might do some stuff for them, so I don't want to say too much. But like, look how cute the penguins are. Oops. Sorry, guys. Glare, and then I just can't get the angles right. Those are cute. There's like little letters with like symbols on. I can't show you these, but there's little like fronts of cars. I always thought this was really pretty. That's part of the project there. I always thought that was really pretty. I don't know if I'd make it a pillow, but maybe something like a tote bag or something would be really cute. Yeah, like I really liked what was in this. There was another one there I was debating getting, but I just felt like there weren't as many patterns in that one that I would like opt to stitch. And I didn't want it just sitting around, and I felt someone else could use it more probably. But anyway, yeah. I don't even think I finished saying there are some letters in here that you can use for like coasters or something, or keychains, because they're just tiny, with some like little symbols on them. I'm not going to say what, because then it would be obvious as to who I am talking about wanting to do these for eventually. But yeah, just like super cute little, oh, and I thought this was really cute. It's a ring pillow for a wedding. I just thought that was a really sweet idea. But yeah, so less than $1, I figured I'd get it. Okay, so lastly are the giveaway winners. I'm so excited to announce these. Okay, so thank you all so much who, wanted to join in on the giveaway, like enter the giveaway, who commented, who watched my videos, who subscribed. Like, I always so appreciative. But I'm so excited to announce these 2 people. So I did do screen recordings for each of the 2 winners. I will post them on the screen. But the first winner is, drum roll, Giselle Salas or Sales. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. 1980. You have won. Congratulations. And number 2, drum roll, Edwina Wickwire, 6038. Yay, you're the second winner. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is, if you guys, the 2 winners, can email me. My email will be linked below in the description, as always. If you can email me saying that you've you've won the giveaway, I will send you a code word that I want you to comment on my video with your YouTube account that you entered the giveaway with, because I don't want any random person to email me creating an email with the same name saying, hey, I won your giveaway, and then I just send it to them. So this will avoid some scams. So I want you guys to email me. I will send you a code word that you will comment on your post with. It'll be super random word, so it's going to sound weird, but I will explain that all in the email as well. And then yeah, I'll get your information if that's the email that you want me to send it to, and then we'll figure out what chart you want, and we'll chitty chat about it. So yes, I should also mention, if there is no response by the 15th of August from either of the two winners, then I will have to draw somebody else, and I will announce that in my next update in October, I guess. Oh my goodness, in October for the September update. But yeah, okay guys, congratulations. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what you guys pick out, which patterns you want. But I think that's everything for today's video. This was a faster one. I mean, it's still about 40 minutes as I'm looking at the time here. But thank you guys again so much for watching. Thank you guys for being patient with me with my videos, and, you know, still willing to put up with me not posting and having to deal with all the technical stuff. I appreciate your guys' patience. But yeah, let me know in the description below what you guys do about the couple questions that I asked in today's video. And as always, I answer all of my comments, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Keep your eyes peeled for that stitch with me. All right, guys, see you later, and have a hoot stitching. Bye.